right? This may be the biggest mewing mistake which you might make, and by making this mistake is gonna cause you a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, and a huge waste of time. What waste of time? Because you will have to fix this mistake, and I'm gonna tell everything what causes this mistake, and if you're already facing the consequences of this mistake, how to fix this mistake. And this mistake is putting more pressure on left or right side, on the side right of the roof of your mouth. And what it does is one side of your face is going to be a little more developed than the other. I'm going to show you pictures of the right side of my face and the left side, and the right side of my face looks better than the left. And I know in here it might look like this side is better, but technically this is, but because of the way the camera is set up, this phone camera, it makes it look like this side is better. And I will show you the pictures. And the crazy thing is that when you are actually doing, especially when you're starting out with mewing, you won't actually know if you're making this mistake. The reason I was making this mistake, and I didn't realize that I'm making this mistake, because at first I was not even aware of it, and I did not know how to do mewing properly. I didn't know. At first I was putting the tip of my tongue on the roof of the mouth. Later I was able to put the back of my tongue and the middle and the front on fully on the roof of the mouth. But then later I tried to do hard mewing, and then as I was going through that process of doing hard mewing, unintentionally I put more pressure on the right side, on the roof, on right side of the roof of the mouth more than the left. And so the right side of the mouth means this side is a little more wider, it's a little more defined than this side. And it's like it's not good, because the thing is, you can actually, like, when I close my mouth, I can feel my tongue like automatically going to this side more, like it's resting to this side more on the roof than this side, because this side is more developed, and now the palate, this side of the palate is a little more wider than this side, right? So it can even be like, even if you have a uneven palate, it can be because of that. And if you try to do mewing with the uneven palate, is going to only increase the effect. Like the side of your face which is going to have more which is going to be more wider, that automatically your tongue is going to be going to that part automatically, and then you will naturally put more pressure to that side, and that side is going to be more developed compared to the other one. Now, how do you fix this? Well, let me first talk about what would cause this. First, like I said, if you, especially when you're a beginner, you don't actually fully know how to do this. And even like a lot of beginners, what they do, they put only the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, like only the tip, and that is not something which you want to do. And when you're putting the tip on the roof of your mouth, the tip of your tongue, you might actually push your front teeth from the back, and that doesn't really look that good. So first you would actually have to be able to put the whole tongue, and obviously that takes time. It's not like you can do it like in the beginning. I mean, you can do it in the beginning, but then it takes a little time for you to be able to fully put your whole tongue on the roof of the mouth. Because here's the thing, your tongue is a muscle, and it takes time. And also the other thing is that a lot of beginners, you're going to be feeling a lot of pain, not a lot of pain, but it depends, but like you're going to be feeling pain when you're actually trying to do mewing in the beginning, and that is fine, because like I said, when you're doing push-up, it hurts, but as you do it more, the pain becomes less. And obviously if you do it more, then it would hurt, but you get my point. So it's just a muscle, and with time you will be fine. You will be able to put it, like you rest your tongue on the roof of the mouth all day, and you won't even be aware of it, and it will be unconscious. And it's obviously good for your breathing and all of that stuff, if you already know that. So this first thing is that you have to make sure when you're when you're putting the tongue on the roof of the mouth, you have to be sure that it's equal on all sides, that it's not either more to the left side or the right side, right? Because then what would happen, if it's more to the right side, that side is going to be more developed, it's going to be a little more wider than the other side, and the other side will be less developed, and it doesn't look good I will say. I mean, it depends how much difference it has. Like, it obviously causes asymmetry, right? But then it depends how much difference is there, right? From this side to that side depends what side is more developed than the other, and what side is not. But it basically does not look very good. That's just the point, right? So this is the first thing that you have to be careful of, is that you have to make sure that you, when you're trying to do meme, you have to see your tongue, like, is it in the middle, right? The second thing is that this could also cause this, and is that if you chew from one side of your face, from one side, like from this side or from this side more, you chew from that side more, what is going to happen is that side is basically going to be more developed, because chewing helps with that as well. Having a more defined face, chewing helps with that. So if you chew from one side, that side is going to be more developed. So that can also cause this, that one side of your face is going to be more developed and the other won't be. The other thing is that, yeah, this is mainly this, and like, this is also another thing, that you might already have a uneven palate, so obviously that would cause that as well. But obviously there's a reason why that happens a lot of the time. Maybe in the childhood. But now, how do you fix this? So the side of your face which is less defined, you have to chew more from that side, so it becomes a little more defined. I mean, obviously it will take time, but you have to chew more from that side. Which side? The side which is less defined, the side of your face which is less defined, and the side of your palate, left or right, depends on which side of your palate is more wide. And the one which is narrow, you have to chew from that side. Mainly means that the side which is less wider, the jaw which is less wider, like, depends on how I hope you know what I'm talking about, is that the side which is basically less defined, chew from that side, chew more from that side. The other thing which is helping me, but it's not something which I would recommend, and it's actually something which this is something which, like, I've had this thing, like, where the right side of my palate is more wider than the left, and I just uh, realized that I genuinely need to change this. I just realized this recently. So what I'm doing now, this is not something which I recommend, because I don't know if it's, like, I do know if it is helping, but then I don't know, there might be side effects of it. But then I will tell you what it is that I have my tongue naturally rests to the little, like, a little to the right side of the palate, because it's wider. So, like, when I go to sleep, when I lay down, it goes to the right a little bit. Now, obviously, if I mew like that, if I put my tongue on the roof like that, and then I put pressure, obviously this side is going to be more developed then, and this side won't be developed that much, and obviously I don't want that. So what I do is that I sleep on the left side, the side which is where my tongue normally doesn't go, right? So for doing it for some days, well, this is just what I've noticed, this is what just happened to me. My tongue naturally goes a little to the left side, because of how I've been sleeping on the left side, right? And it kind of moves my tongue a little more to the left side. Previously it was right, because the palate is wider on the right side. So I do that, and then my tongue naturally goes to the left side. And now what I've been trying to do, because I know I have to fix this, I try to put, when my tongue rest is on a little to the left side, I try to put more pressure on the left side and try to not touch the right, because the right side is already developed, and the palate is already wider, and the jaw is already wider, and this side is less defined, and this side has a less it has a less wide jaw and narrow palate. So to be able to have a better defined this left side of my face, I put more pressure on this side. And here's the thing, I'm not sure if this is actually helpful if you only sleep to one side of your face. One side, like depends what side of your face is more defined than the other. Like what if it's the left or the right. So I'm not sure if if obviously it does help, because the more you sleep on one side, naturally your tongue is going to be going to that side. But one thing I would say is that you do that, but then you stop, it's naturally going to go back to the side which is more wider. The palate, the side of your palate, if it's right or left, it's going to go to that side which is more wider. Now, this is just what you can do to improve. Listen, I'm learning this as well. And also, a lot of guys, I'm sure a lot of guys who have gone through this process, a lot of guys, I'm sure, who they have fixed this problem. And if you are that person, tell what you did, what worked for you. Tell in the comments, and I'm sure it can help a lot of guys, because I understand this. Listen, here's the thing. You don't like, because the thing is, when you close your mouth, you can literally feel your tongue more like it's resting more to the right side. Obviously, for me, it's right side. Depends how it's for you. If it's the left, it's going to be resting more on the left side, on the roof of the left side of the mouth, roof of the mouth. And it doesn't, like, it is not, it's not necessarily painful, but it's not good, because the thing is, you don't feel like it's your face does not feel even, not fully equal to all sides, like how it is fully symmetrical. It doesn't feel like that, and you don't want that. And also, like, when I look at my face on the right side, it looks better. This side of my face, obviously right now it might look like this side is better, but I will show the pictures, right? This side is better than this side, right, in pictures, and when I look in the mirror. But because of this mistake, and obviously, like, it's not like there's a huge difference. Like, when you would look at me in real life, you might not be able to see much difference, but there is a difference. But the point is, for me, it's like this side is a less wide than this side. This side is a little more wider than this side. I don't like that. And the bigger thing is that this side of my face, like this palate, this side of palate is wider, and this side is not. Right? And I don't like that. So try to make sure you don't make this mistake. And even if you're a beginner, you have to make sure, when obviously a lot of times we are not aware of this, because we are just we are just getting into this, understanding things. Like, we like babies. On what happens when a baby starts to walk, it falls, but then it gets up. But still, you get my point. When you fall, you have to get up, and you learn from your mistakes. And how do you learn from your mistakes? Ask people exactly how to do it. And a lot of times fear is gonna kind of hold you back. Oh, maybe I shouldn't try this. You can try this, but then you have to be a little careful with this, because you don't want to ruin your face, right? Because it wouldn't necessarily look that good, but just try to see what side, like, when you put the tongue on the roof of my, like, this is the back, and then this side, right? And then where do you think is the more pressure? Where do you feel more pressure when you put more pressure, right? And especially, like, if you try to do hard mewing, especially in the beginning, you're more likely to actually make this mistake. So I would recommend not doing hard mewing, especially if you're in the beginning of mewing. And I think this is the biggest mistake, really, because, like, it doesn't even feel good, right? It does not even feel good. But, like, when you close your mouth, this, like, naturally my tongue goes to this side a little bit, like a little bit to this side, and it doesn't feel good. You don't want this, right? So yeah, I hope you learned something from this video, because here's the thing: if you make this mistake, later you will regret it, and it's gonna take good amount of time to actually fix this. So try to be careful with this. We'll talk later then.